Let's go across to UP now on the flood situation there, and 605 villages have been affected across 24 districts due to the floods in the state, and Hamirpur, Jalaun districts in southern UP are the worst affected. 67 villages in central UP's Etawah district affected by the floods, and 110 villages across UP marooned in the floods. The Ganga also flowing above the danger mark in Prayagraj, Ghazipur and Balia. Let's go across to Alok Pandey for more. Alok, give us more details about, the effect of this flooding. It seems to have increased now. Also, there are reports that 154% excess rainfall took place across UP in the last 24 hours.
Well, yes, that is what it seems to be. That is what the government has put out in their flood report, saying that there has been 154% excess rainfall across Uttar Pradesh in the last 24 hours. I remember reporting on Monday that around 350 villages were affected by the floods. Now that number has almost doubled, as you were pointing out, to 605 villages. The number of affected districts has also gone up from 21 districts on Monday to 24 now. The worst affected areas continue to remain the same. Hamirpur, Banda, Jalaun are all districts in southern UP, or as some of us may know it as Bundelkhand, as the Bundelkhand region. That is generally drought-prone, but this time around there is flooding there. Etawah in central UP is also affected. Around 67 villages are affected there, but the concern also is in places like Prayagraj and Varanasi. In Prayagraj, as we know, you have the confluence of the Yamuna and the Ganga rivers. And the top scientist with the Indian government has also tweeted out images, showing how both the Yamuna and the Ganga seem to be flowing in spate. And that's something that the government has also confirmed. In fact, in the latest flood report that was sent out, the government says that there has been 12 times excess rainfall in Prayagraj in the last 24 hours. And we've been sent some shots by our reporter there, and I'm sure we'll put that up in a later bulletin, where you have the low-lying areas that are flooded, and both rivers seem to be flowing in spate. And the government has been, of course, going around, and teams of the disaster response forces, either from the state or the national NDRF, have both been deployed, and they are carrying out relief and rescue operations. I think the one thing that will bring some relief is that so far there has been no recorded death due to these floods. And the other thing that also is a positive in all this is the fact that this rain in the last week or so in Uttar Pradesh seems to have wiped out the monsoon deficit that was in place in UP starting June 1 when the monsoon season starts, and that is now 100%. The rain is 100%, meaning it is what it should be. So that certainly is a positive.
All right, that's one way, Alok, of looking at the bright side, the deficit, but the excess rain is something, it's causing such devastation or such troubles to the people of the state. Yes, very positive that there have been no reports of deaths, but the worry, what is the worry now with so many people marooned, possibility of even, buildings collapsing?
Well, yes, so far we haven't heard any major incidents of collapse, etc. One building that got washed away in Bunda a few days ago. Bunda is in Eastern UP. And as you can see, water has also entered many parts of towns like Ghazipur, even in Prayagraj. But like I said, so far things are more or less, they haven't been worse than what the flooding is, say, every year. But of course, everyone is keeping their fingers crossed that, it won't rain so much in excess that, the flooding gets very intense or that people have to lose their lives. That is certainly something that the government says they're closely tracking and monitoring. They'll set up about 1,000 relief shelters across the state in the near the maroon villages or in these districts. And they say that anyone who is in these villages is being evacuated, and these people are being brought to those shelters.
All right, Alok, thanks so much for joining us with all those details. So 605 villages have now been affected across 24 districts in Uttar Pradesh by the floods.